Welcome or welcome back. I am Literary Mad Max, and it is time to go over the 8 books that I read in October. That is not a great number for me. I feel like I've read significantly less this month. I did read like 800 pages of a book that I just didn't quite finish in the month, so there's that. But it's still just like not as much as I usually do. I'm hoping that October is my month. I did say that about September, but we're getting there. I read 8 books, like I said. In September, I had 3 5-stars, one of which is a reread, but I'm still counting it as a win just because I kind of needed it this month. I don't think that I DNF'd anything, so that's also good. My average rating was a 4.31. I read so few books, so that's like probably why. And then I read 3,524 pages, which is very much down. My books are down by 33%, and my pages are down by 27%. And I did not have a good month in August either. It's just comparing them to last month, so not great. But October's my month, baby. I mostly read horror and fantasy, but contemporary is also very high. I guess that makes sense, but not my usual genre for sure. I tried really hard to focus on like my arcs and stuff this month because my NetGalley score is really low and I had a lot of October arcs. They are carrying into October, which is fine. I just need to get cracking on that. First book that I read was a banger in September, and that's The Burial Tide by Neil Sharpson. This was so good. I was worried that it wasn't going to live up to Knock Knock Open Wide for me, but it totally did. This was fantastic. This is about a woman who we wake up in the coffin with her that she is buried in and has lost her memory. She is trying to piece these things together. She apparently, news to her because she doesn't have her memories anymore, lives on this island, has this husband, and has these routines, but it just doesn't feel quite right to her, and she's piecing this together with the help of a couple people that she befriends on the island. It is so good. I don't know why Neil Sharpson is so good at female rage, but he is. So this is great. I would absolutely recommend it. It's perfect for spooky season, and I just love this book. It's gonna be one of my favorite horrors of the year, probably. And then I finished Girl Dinner, which was less good. This, to me, what I had been hearing, maybe I just didn't read the full synopsis on the back, I thought it was about a cannibalistic sorority, and I thought it was going to be a fun slasher. It was not. It was mostly about a woman who taught at the college that the sorority was a part of, and she is dealing with motherhood and the trials and tribulations of motherhood. And I understand that motherhood is hard. It's a horror in and of itself. I'm just not interested in reading that. So reading all of this motherhood stuff and her just kind of just like struggling with her shitty husband, that's not what I wanted from this book. That's not what this book was giving when I initially read and was hearing about it. So I am sure it makes a lot of mothers feel seen, but it was just not for me. I ended up giving this like a 3-star, and it was kind of just like a skip from me. It was very much giving bodies, 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 which I love that movie, but just like the motherhood aspects of it was too much for me. And I finished Hot Wax by ML Rio, and I think a lot of people are not going to like this book. It is a dual timeline. We're following the same person. In the older timeline, she's like 11, touring with her father's band, who is like an up-and-coming rock band. And in present day, her father has passed away. She is trying to reconcile with this and this guilt that she feels, and is running away from her life. This gave me like Sarah Dessen vibes almost, which I don't think that's like a fair comparison, but I enjoyed it in the same way. This is kind of cringy. This is kind of like edgelordy, but like I really liked it. I had such a good time with this book. And it felt very different from Graveyard Shift, which is the only other thing that I've read by ML Rio. I haven't read If We Were Villains yet, and I definitely will, but I did not like A Secret History, so I'm a little bit worried about that one. This one is very much just like contemporary, and I think that it's like technically a thriller. It didn't feel that twisty or thrilling to me. This is more of just like a contemporary fiction. But I really liked it, which is weird because I'm not like a contemporary fiction girl. I usually don't like fame or music stories, but this one really hit for me. And I'm not super sure, like I can't pinpoint why, but I did really like it. Oh, and I gave it a 4.25 star. And then I read The Maiden and Her Monster by Maddie Martinez. I got this as an audiobook from NetGalley. I liked it, did not love it. This is very much based on Jewish folklore. We're following a woman whose mother is being put on trial by the people that are occupying their village, and they think that she has been killing these people, and it's the result of this monster from a forest. This girl is convinced. So she goes to try and prove her mother's innocence so her mother doesn't. And going into this forest, her like childhood best friend slash love interest, but only one-sided from him, follows her in to help her, and they meet this monster, this golem, and the monster agrees to help her for like self-interest reasons, and they very clearly like have this kind of hate to love relationship thing that's going to happen. And I really liked the sapphic relationship in this, and I really liked the Jewish folklore, learning that aspect of this book. However, it didn't feel like unique or particularly engaging to me. It felt like a very typical romantasy, and I wasn't super impressed with it, but I did like it. I gave it a 3.5 star, and I would read more from Maddie Martinez. I am just not like super excited about this book. The cover is so beautiful though. It's kind of unfortunate. And then, despite not loving fame and music horror, I picked up House of Idol by Delilah S. Dawson. This is like a novella length. I was very engaged from the beginning, but by the time we got to the end, I was a little bit more over it. It's like kind of a culty book. This woman gets picked up by the House of Idol, which is her like childhood favorite band, had huge crushes on everybody, and they have this program, this commune. Everyone dresses in white, and they basically are given all of their resources in order to create art. And it sounds too good to be true, right? And it feels okay at first, but then people start going missing. She starts seeing things that don't quite make sense. I like the ending of this. I just wasn't in love with this book. It should have worked for me in theory. I do love a cult story, especially like a cult horror story. I guess that's like kind of the only kind, but it just wasn't, I don't think it went quite far enough for me. And Delilah S. Dawson has been like a pretty hit or miss author for me. I really liked Guillotine. I DNF'd It Will Only Hurt for a Moment, and this one felt a lot more like It Will Only Hurt for a Moment. Her books are almost kind of feeling formulaic to me. Like, woman goes to this too good to be true isolating situation, and then bad things happen. And I don't know if I will be picking up the next Delilah S. Dawson, or at least not right away when it comes out. I'll want to see reviews and stuff first. And then my horror book club read Slewfoot. I do think that it may be the highest average rating from the book club, so that rocks. And this is a reread for me. I read it last fall and I was like, wow, this is the perfect fall read. And then we vote on books. I picked the selection though, and this one won, obviously, because we read it, duh. We're following Agatha, and she lives in this Puritan town, got kind of sold off by her father, was from London, and her husband almost feels more fatherly than husbandly, but they get along just fine. The only major issue is that they're going to lose their land if they can't pay for it, and they're struggling a little bit. And Edward is her husband's brother, is trying to sabotage them basically and get Edward under his thumb. However, Agatha is just like this spitfire, will not take no for an answer, but the Puritan town that she lives in is very like overbearing and culty. And unfortunately, Edward passes away because Samson, this god devil person entity, eats him. And then Agatha and Samson kind of team up, and it's very like good for her witchy kind of story. I really like it. It feels like Brom is setting up for a sequel to this book, and I would be totally down for that to happen. But I don't know. That's the only Brom that I've read. I don't know if he really does in its series. It feels like all of his books are very singular. And finally, the last book that I did finish this month, and also the best book that I finished this month, was Red City by Marie Lu. This was so good. This is the kind of fantasy that I get excited about. We are following Ari and Sam, and I was worried because this was her adult debut, but we meet them when they're 15, and I was like, is this going to be adult? We get back to them probably like 10 years after we first meet them. But in the beginning, they're both in high school, and they develop this friendship by writing letters to each other. It's a modern timeline. Their cell phones exist, but they just like writing letters to each other. It's very sweet, but they can't start dating. They both have their own issues. Ari is a part of this elemental school, in order to save his family, pay for them. He was kind of ripped away from them and they don't know where he is, but he has to do well in this elemental school or bad things will happen to his family. So he's dealing with that. While Sam is living with her single mother, they're barely making ends meet and dealing with a lot of struggles. Then one day, her mom basically becomes disabled because she gets these really bad burns, can't find a job, becomes very depressed, understandably so. And then Sam basically begs this city celebrity, very rich woman, for help. And that's how she learns of alchemy, much later than one typically would, but she has this just affinity gift for it and is taken under this woman's son's wing, who is much older than her, but they kind of start this thing once they get to adults. And then when we see them in adulthood, both of them don't know that the other is into alchemy. Ari kind of broke things off with Sam after they became adults because he didn't feel like he could bring her into this world and he didn't know that she was already a part of it. And then they meet years later. They realize they're very high up in their respective gangs. It's so juicy. And they are trying to figure out what the other person has been doing, if they can reconcile, but that their gangs are like rival gangs. So it's a whole thing. It's so good. The magic system is so interesting. It affects everything. I think Marie Lu did a really good job of thinking of every way that alchemy could affect their lives. It's just so good. I liked it a lot. Those were the 8 books that I read in September. A pretty solid reading month, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Just a couple books that I was really unimpressed with, I guess. And hopefully October, my birthday month, Scorpio month, Halloween, will be just so good for my reading. I have actually already finished up 3 books this month. It is October already. So I'm feeling really good about how the month is going so far. And I have all the books that I'm planning on reading in my brain I'm very excited about. So I think it will be great. Thank you so much for being here. If you've made it this far, let me know what the best book that you read in September was, or if you didn't read anything super great and just wanted to let me know that you were here. Leave me a sea lion emoji for the burial tide. I think there's one. If not, a mermaid emoji is great. And I will see you in the next one, which will actually hopefully be a vlog this time. I'm trying so hard to actually vlog this month and post twice a week. It's just a lot. It's a lot of work. Trying an influencer for a day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.